When you think of an airplane, you picture the engines, the giant wings, maybe the cockpit. But what about the wheels? Hundreds of tons smash into concrete at over 250 kilometers per hour, and yet those tiny black tires never explode. Why? Because they're not filled with air. In this video, we will discover what's inside the wheels of the airplanes, how much a tire costs, this figure will take your breath away, what makes them so incredibly strong, and how they are trusted to hold up to the hardest landings in aviation. Fasten your seatbelt. The brutal reality of landing gear. Let's start with a reality check. A fully loaded Airbus, a 380, can weigh up to 560 tons. It lands at speeds of over 160 miles per hour. When a plane descends, the wheels are just hanging there, not spinning, just waiting. Then, boom! The moment they touch the runway, they go from 0 to 160 miles per hour in seconds. That's an insane amount of friction, force, and heat, all delivered in a split second. Now add freezing cold temperatures from high altitude, rain, snow, and sometimes even hail, plus the weight of an entire aircraft coming down on them. And they don't just need to survive one landing. They need to be ready to do it all over again in a few hours on the next flight. Now picture your car tire trying to handle that. It would explode instantly. So why don't airplane tires do the same? Because they're not regular tires. Tires built like body armor. Airplane tires aren't designed for long-distance rolling. They're designed to absorb massive vertical force, not horizontal mileage. Inside, they're built with multiple layers of ultra-tough materials called plies. Think of plies like armor plates inside the rubber. These layers are usually made of nylon, polyester, or even aramid fibers. Yes, the same type used in bulletproof vests. Each tire can have up to 38 plies, depending on the aircraft. They're precision engineered to distribute weight evenly across the contact surface, so the tire doesn't flatten or twist during touchdown. Airplane tires are a miracle of engineering, and this, as you will see next, is reflected in the price of each tire. But here's where it gets even crazier. The big secret, what's really inside those tires? Let's talk about the real twist. What's inside? Your car tire is filled with air, roughly 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and a bit of moisture, depending on the environment. That's fine for highways, but in aviation, that's a huge risk. Why? Because oxygen supports combustion. If a tire heats up during a hard landing, or worse, catches fire from a brake failure, that oxygen can fuel a literal explosion. And yes, this has actually happened in the past. That's why airplane tires are filled with pure nitrogen. Nitrogen stays stable under extreme pressure and temperature. It doesn't expand dangerously during a hot landing. It contains no moisture, so it prevents internal corrosion. It doesn't support combustion, so no fire risk, and most importantly, it keeps the tire stable. Even at minus 50 degrees Celsius at cruising altitude, or during a rejected takeoff where brakes heat up to over 300 degrees, nitrogen keeps the tire's internal pressure consistent and safe. That's why when mechanics inflate a plane's tires, they don't use a regular air compressor. They use high-pressure nitrogen tanks. Race cars, Formula One teams, even space shuttles, they all use nitrogen in their tires too. Because when you're dealing with high speeds, high stakes, and no room for error, nitrogen is the only safe choice. Quick pause. I'm curious, did you know airplane tires weren't filled with air, or did you believe the myth like most people? Drop your answer in the comments. Pressure levels that would destroy a car. A typical car tire runs at around 30 to 35 psi, but an airplane tire is easily 200 psi, sometimes more. That's 6-7 times the pressure of your car. Why so high? Tire needs to be inflated enough to support the aircraft without deforming dangerously. But it's not just about pressure, it's about endurance. Airplane tires are tested to survive up to 4 times their operating pressure before bursting. That's around 800 psi. They're also tested in extreme temperatures, underwater, with brakes locked. Basically every worst-case scenario imaginable. They are, without exaggeration, the most over-engineered tires in the world. But what about price? The cost of safety. So how much does one of these miracle tires cost? Depending on the plane, anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 each, and some planes have a lot of them. The most common commercial aircraft, such as the Airbus 320 family and the Boeing 737, have between 6 and 10 wheels per aircraft. And the biggest aircraft, such as the 380, have 22 wheels. In the case of what was the world's largest cargo aircraft, the Antonov, a whopping 32. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars just for tires. What happens if a tire fails mid-flight? It's not ideal, but it's not a death sentence either. Airplanes are built to handle it. Most commercial jets have multiple wheels per landing gear, and they can still land safely even if one or more fail. And some commercial aircraft are certified to land with flat tires or even missing wheels in extreme emergency conditions. So next time you're on a plane, sitting above those massive wheels, take a second to appreciate what's under you. That landing gear is taking a pounding at 250 kilometers per hour, supporting the weight of a blue whale, and doing it without a single drop of air inside. Just nitrogen, bulletproof layers, and some of the most overlooked engineering genius in aviation. Kinda makes your car tires look embarrassing. If you want more hidden tech truths like this, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still thinks those tires are just big rubber wheels. Remember, they lied to you, and it's time to wake up. Don't miss the next video.